Afternoon, everybody. Thanks for being here, and those of you watching us online, we appreciate you being here as well. Before we start, we just wanted to acknowledge an individual. Marlon DeShauze at the University of Memphis passed away earlier today. And Marlon was a member of the athletic department at Memphis, really just one of the more beloved people across our entire conference. And we want to acknowledge him and obviously send our thoughts and our prayers and our hearts out to his family and to the entire Memphis community. Welcome to the night before the championship game. We're excited at the conference that the championship game is taking place at historic Michie Stadium, where a lot of history has been made in college football. And naturally, we're excited about broadcast television, primetime. We're going to have some northeast weather. We're going to have some real football weather tomorrow night, but a lot of great things have lined up for the game. So with that, I want to introduce our first coach, Coach Monken. First year in the conference, Army finished 10-1 and undefeated in the conference. The value that we got out of our relationship in just year one with Army has been remarkable. And they have been a great partner in every sense of the word, and how they've performed on the field has been equally as impressive. Coach Monken was voted this week by his peer coaches in the conference as Conference Coach of the Year, so also in the first year in the conference. And, of all the places where history has taken place in college football, national championships have been won in Army, Heisman trophies have been won in Army, but a conference championship football game has not been played in Army, so that's a first, and we're excited to be part of it. That'll bring up Coach Monken. There he is.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Am I good here? Okay. Yep. Good evening. We're thrilled to be here. Just thanks to Tim, the American Athletic Conference. It's such an honor and privilege for us to host this game at West Point. As Tim said, to be here at historic Michie Stadium on these hallowed grounds, the United States Military Academy, what it means to this nation, everything about this place is truly American. So we're proud to host this game, and I'm proud of our team and what they've done to this point in the season to earn the opportunity to play this game here and to host the game against a great Tulane football team. Congratulations to Coach Sumrall and his staff and his team. They've had an outstanding year. They've got a terrific football team, a team that's going to be very difficult to beat tomorrow night. It's going to take a tremendous effort on our part. We're looking forward to the game and the opportunity to play for a championship. As I told our players, there are 134 teams that play football at this level, and we're one of 18 teams that get to play this weekend on championship weekend. What an incredible opportunity for these young men and for this academy, and really just the pride of who we and for who we represent. The pride in playing this game for our Corps of Cadets, which is those are the 4,400 of our classmates that will be sitting in the stands tomorrow night cheering on our team. And we're just an extension of that Corps of Cadets. Our long gray line of graduates, the men and women that have attended this great institution, and many of whom still serve in the Army, and those that have taken on careers beyond. But more importantly, the over 1 million men and women that serve in the United States Army. And the name on the back of our jersey honors those men and women, and what they do every day to serve our nation, to stand in the gap between freedom and those that want to take it from us. What an incredible opportunity for us to represent them in a championship game. So we're very proud to be here, and we're going to try to do our very best to play the best football that we've played all year. We know it's going to take that effort in order to win the game tomorrow night. So the players are excited, coaches are excited. I think our entire campus and community is excited to be here, and the eyes of the nation will be on the American Athletic Conference tomorrow, and certainly on West Point. So we're proud of that.
All right, we'll open up for questions.
Right over there right now.
Ken Kreitzer, Canvas Media. Coach, good to see you. Maybe just comment on general preparation of your team coming off the Notre Dame UTSA games, two very physical games as you described it. How have you handled practice going into this game against Tulane?
We practiced probably maybe as lightly as we've practiced all year. Frankly, and we talked about this last week, Ken, and just we've taken a pounding, and our guys play a very physical brand of football. They play hard, they play tough. We pride ourselves on hitting people and playing a rugged style of football. For a team that plays that way, you're going to take some lumps. And playing a great Notre Dame team who was really physical and big, we came out of that game beat up and had to push through a week of practice last week to go up against UTSA, who has an outstanding team. And I don't know if there's anybody in our leagues that was playing as good as them in the last part of the season, and they're playing fantastic football, and that was a physical game. So it's a 6-day turnaround to the game tomorrow night, and we were conscious of that. So we hit far less this week than we have. We modified the equipment that we wore in the middle of the week, just so that our guys would be fresh, and hope that we could get as many guys to the game tomorrow night and kick off feeling as well as they possibly can. So our guys emotionally will be ready and excited to play the game, and hopefully physically we'll be able to hold up.
Hey, Jeff, Rich DeMarco, Army Radio. Commissioner Tim Pernetti talked about the value that the league got out of Army in its first year in the league. What kind of value do you feel the Army football program has gotten in its first year in the American Athletic Conference?
It's been tremendous to be a part of this league. This is as well respected a league as there is in the country, top to bottom. The coaching, the talent in this league, the exposure that we've been able to get as a part of the league, and with the changes in college football, most notably the expanded playoff, everybody that's a part of a league has a pathway to the playoff, and we felt like we had to have our place in a conference so that we would have a pathway to the playoff. Obviously, our big rivals were part of conferences, and in recruiting, that makes a difference. We valued our independence here for many decades and a long time, and I did. But when the playoff expanded, I knew that we needed to affiliate ourselves with the league, and it couldn't have worked out better. This is a great league, and we're very fortunate that the American Athletic Conference thought enough of West Point and Army football to invite us to join the league. So it's been, obviously with the success we've had, it's easy to say that. We're playing in the championship game, which is a great source of pride for us. But I think just going forward, this is going to be a really good marriage and an affiliation for us as a program.
Thank you, Ken Kreitzer, Canvas Media. Coach, just ask you challenges you see with Tulane. They seem to have a balanced offense, equal between passing and rushing on yards. They're scoring 39 points a game, and on defense are holding opponents to 304 yards per game. What are some of the challenges you see in Tulane?
They're a complete team, Ken, and you mentioned the statistics, and they have those statistics because of the way they play. Start off with their defense. Coach Gasparato, who's their defensive coordinator, does a tremendous job. He was here on our staff. He's got a long history with Coach Woody, and defending option offenses. Has coached at schools where he was a defensive coach, and the offense that was being run at those programs was an option offense. Wofford here at Army, he's got a great plan. He's got really talented players. And they're playing really well, playing together, playing hard. And Coach Sumrall's a defensive-minded coach, and his teams have always played good defense. they are a challenge to play in terms of our offense against their defense because of their ability to get their guys to play our schemes with great detail, fundamentals, and assignment. And that's not to say others don't, but our offense is so different and unique. To have an understanding, as Greg does, makes it particularly challenging. And it's going to be, hopefully we can block well enough and have some plays that are answers to what they're giving us well enough that they can't just sit in one front and beat the crap out of us, which they're good enough to do that. They're physically good enough to do that. They play good defense all year. It's not just option teams that obviously they're playing more traditional offense week in and week out and just doing a great job. Offensively, they run the ball. They're I think built like us. They value the same things. They want to run the ball and stop the run. They're a great running football team. They cut the time of the game down, limit possessions for the other team. But their quarterback is playing so well. He's good on his feet. They throw long balls, deep balls, big plays, and that's something that they've got that I think really makes them unique and stand out, and why they've had so much success. They're a great running football team that can hit big plays in the passing game and throw long balls, and so that's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on a defense, because if you're going to stop the run, then you need guys in the secondary to help fit the run gaps. And we have safeties and corners and nickels involved in the run fits, but they're also the guys that got to cover those routes. So a lot of pressure on the defense. Coach Sumrall's just done a great job in to transition from one coach to another. Coach Fritz had such great success there and moved on to the University of Houston, and for John to come in and have success like he has, it's not easy to do. And so a lot of credit goes to him and their staff. Rusty Witt, their strength coach, was here on our staff as a strength coach, and I've got great respect for him. I know that they've created a culture and a toughness in their program that is really helping them finish games and push opponents around, and when they get people down, they do a good job of keeping them down. So there's just so many things that I admire about their team, and it's going to take a great effort for us tomorrow night. I hope we can match their speed and athleticism and their effort.
Coach, just talk about the mental fortitude of your team, because you talked about it earlier. After the Notre Dame game, you felt like you guys got beat up, right? But you had to get back up for that next game versus UTSA. And like you said, they had been playing really good football down the stretch. So just talk about the mental fortitude. What was the message that week to get your team ready? And then talk about how you thought your team responded after coming off that loss to Notre Dame, because we always used to say in the locker room, don't let a team beat you 2 weeks in a row, right? And I thought you guys really shook that Notre Dame loss off and came out and played really well last week.
We've got a very mature team, very professional. We've got a lot of guys in our two deep, guys that are playing, getting most of the snaps that are veteran players, have played a lot of football for us. Not all of them are seniors, but we've got a really strong senior class. We've got a strong group of captains, and they've been able to put every game behind them, which is what's impressed me most, I think, about this team. It's rare. This is the leadership mecca of the world. There are great leaders on this campus. There are young men and women on this campus that are going to change the history of the world through their leadership. And that's powerful. We got guys on our team who will be, they'll be general officers, and they will take command of thousands of soldiers. And though they are going to be in those positions at some point in their life, they're still human beings, and it's very difficult to not allow circumstances to affect your emotion and performance. And we've all been through things like that, whatever it is in our life. In this football season, every game that we've won, they've been able to put it behind them. They don't get a sore shoulder, reaching over and patting themselves on the back. They have put it behind themselves. They've been very humble, and just have a desire to figure out what they can do better and how we can improve. And so the Notre Dame game, certainly we wanted to win that football game. We went into that game with the expectation to win, and it was disappointing, but I knew that our guys wouldn't allow that to derail us. If we lost to UTSA, it was because UTSA beat us, not because Notre Dame beat us the week before. Just this team and the maturity of this team. So I've been really impressed with the guys that we've got in our locker room, and the freshmen on our team, the plebes, as we call them here. They're going to benefit for the course of their career here because of the leadership that's being provided to them by this senior class. So, I think that our guys are tough. They're mentally tough. They're physically tough. They do hard things all the time here, and playing football at this level is hard. Winning a game at this level is hard. There are no easy games. It's hard to win a football game, and these guys, because of the investment that they've made, and I think the attitude that they've had since January, has really propelled our success this year.
Smith with NOLA.com, Times Speaking. It is to be one of only 18 teams playing in a championship game this week. Can you address anybody out there who might speculate that with Navy coming up next week, that it'll be tough for your team to give everything it has?
No, I mean we're playing for a championship tomorrow night, a conference championship, for the first time in program history. So this is a huge football game for us, and everything that we've done this week is in preparation for this game. And certainly when this game is done tomorrow night, our attention will turn completely to the game next week. But we're 100% getting ourselves prepared to beat Tulane and play the game tomorrow night, and the opportunity that presents. There's 18 teams playing this weekend. 9 of them are going to get to stand out there on the field and hoist a trophy over their head. And our guys want to be one of them. We know Tulane wants to be that team just as badly as our team does. And so hopefully we can make it a great game. I'm not sure we can. They got a great football team, super talented and well coached. So I hope we can make it a great game and give ourselves a chance.
Coach Maria Tribal Peace, you mentioned those seniors. They just had their branch night. Can you talk a little bit about how special that is, especially during the week of your championship game?
That's a great night at West Point, and I was there for it, as I am every year. And to see 1,000 future officers, leaders of our nation, tear open those envelopes and read what's on the inside, and celebrate and hug each other, and tears of joy and the excitement. It's awesome. And they've trained and prepared for that moment, the opportunity to find out what their job will be in the Army and leading soldiers. And it's an incredible moment. And so I'm happy for our guys. Excited for them and the opportunities that they'll have, and just the opportunity to be in a high level leadership position, having to make decisions that matter at 22 or 23 years old is an incredible amount of responsibility, but that's an opportunity they've earned. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited for all of our cadets who had a chance to open those envelopes last night.
spoke to the Corps. I understand he visited football practice.
General Austin was here yesterday. I got a chance to spend about 40 minutes with him, which was pretty incredible. And we're very proud to call him a graduate of West Point, and it was just awesome to have him here in our building. We walked around and we talked Army football and talked some about his experience here, and then I took him down to the weight room. We were actually yesterday was just a lift, meetings and a walkthrough yesterday, but he went down to the weight room, and I assure you, maybe not everybody in America would recognize Lloyd Austin, but I promise you that everybody on this campus recognizes him. And our players, as soon as he walked in, I mean, there were 100 heads that turned and saw him, and their eyes got big, and a couple of them got to shake hands with General Austin. And so just great to have him here. He's been such a support to us, an ambassador for our institution, but what he's done for a lifetime is serve this nation. And a guy like Lloyd Austin could have done anything. He could still do anything he wants to. He's brilliant. He's a tremendous leader. He's respected around the world for what he stands for, personally, professionally. But he continues to serve this nation. And just incredible to have a leader like that walking around this building, and for me personally to have a chance to spend time with him. It's one of the amazing things about being the coach at West Point. The people that I've met and had a chance to spend time with and even befriend. I mean, most people don't have that privilege in their lifetime, and I've had the privilege of meeting so many incredible people, and certainly he's one of them. Thank you.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Beat Navy.
We'll do a photo op with Coach and Commissioner Pernetti with the trophy. We'll do still photos first, and then we'll have the video.
Okay. Great. Right here.
Right there.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Canada.
Coach, it was a pleasure.
Thank you, always.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, that was Army coach Jeff Monken. Pregame press conference. So Tulane was a little bit delayed. Looks like the best guess is shortly after 5 o'clock. We'll be there roughly. So not too much longer. So we'll come back at about 5 o'clock again. And we will have more of the Tulane and Army Tulane game for the American Football Conference. That's an 8 o'clock start tomorrow night. And that is on ABC nationally. It should be a great time. It's going to be cold, but you can watch it from the warmth of your homes and through a lot of restaurants you're going to have on. Thanks for watching. It's been great sport game. That's me.
Everybody for sticking around. Before, just a couple comments on our next head coach, John Sumrall from Tulane. So 9-3 on the year, 7-1 in the conference, and it's their third straight championship game appearance at Tulane. Even though it's John's first championship appearance as a coach at Tulane, he's very familiar with championship games. He's been in 3 straight, going back to his last couple of years at Troy. The Green Wave also led the conference with 18 All-American Athletic Conference selections, which is the most in the league by a long shot, including a good handful on the first team. So the last thing I would say is just with Coach Monken leaving and John coming in, we couldn't have 2 better men and 2 better representatives of who we are as a conference than these 2 coaches, and I think it's incredibly fitting that they're competing for this trophy tomorrow night for the championship game. So with that, I'll bring John up to make some comments.
Yeah, appreciate y'all hanging in there. We're a little bit behind. Travel's been a little hectic today. We were getting ready to land in Newark. We circled for about 45 minutes waiting to taxi in or get in with the traffic we had. But excited to be here. Grateful to be playing a conference championship game. Told our guys this week there's 9 FBS conference championship games. You're one of 18 teams playing. That's special. Playing football this time of year is very special, and I'm proud of our guys for their effort all year. Look forward to a great game. Have a ton of respect for Jeff and his football team and this university, what they're about. West Point have had the privilege of playing against them last 2 years. It's always a physical, blue-collar, hard-fought game, and they do a tremendous job. Such great representatives of our league. I'd like to thank our conference and Commissioner Pernetti and his staff for it's been an awesome year. Really have appreciated everything this league has provided for our guys, and look forward to going and playing a game tomorrow night. So with that, we'll open it up.
Ken Kreitzer, CanVets Media, welcome to West Point. I know you've been here before. Tell us a little bit about general preparation of your team this week, how you got ready, and then getting set to travel up here to New York.
Yeah, so normal week, we played Thursday last week on Thanksgiving night, and gave them a day or 2 off, really, and then treated it like a normal game. We couldn't really use extra days because I think this point in the year, your guys are beat up enough that you have to be smart about how you practice. We flew up today, and our guys are actually finishing practice. I had to come up here and leave early. They're practicing not far from the airport at an undisclosed location. But we had our Friday run-through. We do a Thursday walkthrough and a Friday run-through, so today's Friday in our world. Even though I know tomorrow's Friday, we treat it like game day Saturday. So our guys just finished up their run-through. Been a good week of work. The challenges that West Point, the team they present, schematically are real, and they're really talented. And so it's been a challenging week getting ready for these guys.
There we go. Luce Disney, how you doing, Coach?
Good. You?
How has your team responded after a tough week versus Memphis last week? Kind of asked this to Coach Monken earlier. I know I talked to you earlier when I called the game. The last thing you want is a team to beat you 2 weeks in a row. So how has the energy and preparation been this week for your team?
Yeah, you can't let one become 2. That's something we talk about a lot. Definitely had a bad taste in our mouth. Didn't play our best last time we went out. Really was frustrated and disappointed. Our whole team was. Didn't represent our program the right way. It's been a good week, though. I think once we got into the flow of the normal week, our guys have had great energy, have been really focused and dialed in. It's fun watching them fly around. I wanted them to run around up here in a little bit cooler weather. It's not this cool in New Orleans. And so the energy's been good. I think if you can't get excited about playing, I don't care what happened last week. If you can't get excited about playing a conference championship game, you got a problem. You know what I mean? So we should have no motivation issues.
Now it's working. You mentioned just running around in that cooler weather. Is that something that you talk about with your team? It's supposed to be pretty cold and windy, a little bit different weather than New Orleans, or is it just something that you're trying to push through?
I bring it up. Anything that could get brought up to them, I bring up so I can control the narrative, to be quite honest with you. I don't want anybody else telling them, hey, it's going to be cold, and then think, oh, gosh, it's going to be cold. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be cold. We did our off-season training back in January, February, and I've got some clips of when we were doing our workout at 25 degrees in T-shirts. And so should not have an effect. I mean, on our guys' readiness to play. You do have to take it into consideration, I think, with maybe some throwing and catching situations. And I don't think it's going to be as windy today, looking at the forecast, as it was this afternoon down here. But the wind a lot of times can play a big part of the kicking game and the throw game as well.
All right. Just getting back to last week, Coach, defensive-minded coach. I know you couldn't have been happy about the run defense and giving up as many yards as you did. This is an outfit that's a prolific run game. What's been the message to your defense to get back on track, to make sure everybody's in their gaps right? The alley defender is taking a proper angle, and then also mitigating the missed tackles, because this is a team that's physical and runs hard.
Well, the key was missed tackles. We didn't tackle the ball great last week, and this Army team, what they do running the football is very impressive. It starts with their quarterback. He's a load, man. He's like a linebacker, body type. He's a big, strong guy. I got a lot of respect for him. We got to tackle well. We got to gang tackle. We got to wrap up. We got to leverage the football properly, and you got to do your job. That's probably the thing that Army challenges you on differently than some people is you have to be sound at different spots that you don't maybe know where the ball is going to be at certain times. And so it's not all three back options. Some of it is, but there's a lot of different things they present that are tough to get ready for. But the biggest thing we can control is tackle better. It wasn't like the run game last week. They just had nobody within, several yards of the back and he ran free. It's like guys just didn't finish the tackle. So we got to tackle better.
My plane only had to wait 5 minutes, and we were already on the ground. So
we should have run with you, brother.
Me.
We should have gotten on your plane, man.
Your run game wasn't the same as it has been all year against Memphis. Obviously, Memphis was really talented, but was there anything more than just guys just not winning blocks that they have done most of the year?
Yeah, some of it was on the O-line. Some of it was not on the O-line. It was maybe on a back or a tight end. We did not play our brand of football last week, and in that phase either. And so it wasn't our day. We have to play a lot better in that area if we want to have any success tomorrow.
Coach, Darian Mensah's been good for you all season. At what point did you know that he was the guy that you're going to roll with?
Yeah, Gary and the New Orleans folks have heard this, but like when I took the job, I had no idea who he was. And really the first time I even heard his name was from Michael Pratt, our quarterback last year. And Pratt mispronounced his name the first time we started talking about it. He was calling him Mensah. And I'm like, who's this Mensah kid? And, redshirted last year, didn't play any games. About midway through spring, I'm kind of like, all right, I like what I see in this guy. He's young, and I told our local media, I said, he's going to be a really good player. Probably not right now. Now is probably not quite his time, but I see something in this guy. And went through the summer, and really I didn't think he was quite in the quarterback competition yet. I thought it was two other guys. And about 8 days into training camp, I walked in our offensive staff room, and I just asked everybody, I said, who's playing the best, one at a time? I said, no group think, like, give me your honest opinion. And everybody in the room said Mensah. And I said, well, we're cowards if we don't start him, because the only reason not to start him is he's never played in a college football game. I don't care. Like, let's make the right call here. And he's just worked incredibly hard. He's very consistent. He's a force multiplier. And what I mean by that is, like, he makes other people around him better. Like, it's not just what he is on his own, but he makes others better. And he's got great anticipation on the throw lanes. He sees it good coverage-wise typically. He's improving as a runner. He's not like I kid around. He had a touchdown against Navy running. I called him Michael Vick that week. And he's not a run-first player. He's a pocket thrower, passer that has a better ability to run probably than people recognize. But I'm just proud of his growth and development. He's got a long way to go still. He's got to get stronger. This offseason will be big for him. But he's come a long way, and I think probably you felt that he was going to be a good player. I don't know that I was quite ready to say he's our guy until about our second scrimmage of training camp. And I was like, all right, I'm all in. Let's go. That it? Come on, man. Oh, you got one?
Coach, I was just going to ask A little bit about Army's offensive line. What you see, all 5 players were first or second team in the conference.
Strong, physical, play extremely hard. They're well coached, play with good technique. You can tell they're veteran. I'm a lot of the guys I remember from last year, and they're just really, really good. They are a physical group, and they execute at a high level. They're really good up front. I think they get a lot of attention offensively because of maybe the scheme, but I think one thing that gets overlooked is not the scheme covering up for an O-line. It's good scheme matched with a great O-line who moves the line of scrimmage, knocks people off the ball, plays with physicality. So really think highly of that group. They're very talented. Thank you. Good to go. Appreciate you.
Do a picture with Sumrall and Commissioner. Where are we? You're just going to stand on that side. All right, come on.